Cap and Holly, thanks so much. And Bob, a festive weekend here with the Wrigleyville Block Party going on. The Cubs are going to have this party for the Big Three series. This one, the White Sox in early July, and then coming up in August when the St. Louis Cardinals come in. I heard the live band playing when we walked in, and this place is very festive.
Oh, without a doubt, Len. I mean, Wrigleyville is always festive before a Cubs game, but especially a big series like this against the American League New York Yankees. People were going to be in the area anyway. You might as well give them something to do, and looks like everybody I passed this morning was having a great time.
That's in that parking lot, that triangle area right off Clark Street. So if you're coming out to the ballpark tomorrow afternoon or Sunday night, make sure you stop on by. And it's always fun when the Yankees are here. Only the second time in the regular season. The last time was 2003, and the Cubs feeling pretty good about winning 3 of 4 against Milwaukee.
Well, they should feel pretty good about it. Milwaukee was a red-hot ball club coming into that 4-game series, but the Cubs played some good, solid, fundamental baseball. They ran the bases well. They played some good defense, and yesterday the bats really came alive.
Let's check in on the highlights of Game 4 of the 3-game series. Wind blowing out. Bernie Brewer hanging on one of the rooftops, and he almost caught a home run ball yesterday. First inning, Ryan Braun with a 2-run homer off Matt Garza into the bleachers and left. Braun with his 15th of the year, 2-0. But the Cubs would come right back. Starlin Castro, big day, reached 5 times. He knocks in Kosuke Fukudome. They combined for 4 runs on the day. They would add a run on a pass ball to tie it up. Second inning, Cubs down again, but they get a run on a wild pitch. They would get 3 runs total in that second inning. This is a triple by Kosuke Fukudome. And then in the third inning, each team scoring in each of the first 3 innings. 5-5 tie no longer. Carlos Pena off Zach Greinke's 6-5. The Cubs would not trail again. And what a day for Kosuke. Arguably the best game he's had in 4 years as a Chicago Cub. 3-run homer to right. Bobby added a couple of outfield assists. What a day he had.
A complete, solid ball game all the way around for Kosuke Fukudome. The only negative was he came up a double short of the cycle.
Alfonso Soriano first start off the disabled list, and he went deep. 2-run homer, his 13th of the year, and that really broke it open. That made it 11-5 Cubs. And then in the 9th inning, Ricky Weeks hit into a 5-4-3 double play. The Cubs scoring a season-high 12 runs. Yeah, they gave up a bunch, but some days you just got to outslug the opponent, and that's what the Cubs did. Winning 3 of 4 against Milwaukee. And Bob, it will not get any easier this weekend as the Yankees have won 6 of 7.
Well, the Yankees, after getting swept by the Red Sox, turned it around and won their next 2 series, including a sweep of the first-place Texas Rangers. This is a really good ball club that can pound that baseball. You're going to have to really pitch well against them.
One of the Cubs with a great perspective on this interleague matchup, unfortunately, is on the DL, but Kerry Wood, the former Yankee, reminisces with Gail Fisher about the 2003 series here at Wrigley Field.
Well, Kerry, the last time the Yankees were here, 2003, it was a big day for you. Roger Clemens was going for career win number 300. You were opposing him. First of all, how did it feel going into it, and then in the moment facing your childhood idol?
You know what, there was a little bit more hype prior to the game. I think once game day came around, I focused more on what I had to do, and then obviously once the game started, you kind of get locked into what you're doing and you don't worry about it. But it was definitely a lot of hype. It was cool for me, like you said, facing my idol. Or one of them and growing up, so I got a chance to pitch against him, and he was going for 300, and I think I was going for 50 that day, so it was a cool day for me.
He actually was denied the 300 that day as the Cubs ended up winning. A lot of bizarre things happening in that game. You collided with Hee-Seop Choi. He ended up going to the hospital. What do you remember about that play?
I remember I was facing Giambi, and Lenny Harris was playing third, and I hit he hit a pop-up in the infield, and I didn't know we had the shift on. So I turned around, looked at the third baseman. Obviously, there's no third baseman there. He's playing shortstop. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to catch this. So I get under it, and I had no idea that Hee-Seop had run behind me, and I went back to catch it and knocked him off his feet, and his head hit the third base line, and that was it.
And also, Alfonso Soriano was playing for the Yankees. I think you struck him out, correct?
Yep. I think that was probably the first time I've ever thrown a slider on the first pitch of the game. I remember telling Larry, we were in there talking about it, I go, I've never done this. I don't think I did it in high school, but I'm throwing Soriano a first pitch slider to start the game. He's like, not a bad idea.
You were battling with Clemens in that game. It was a tight ball game. They ended up pulling Clemens, I believe, after 7 or in the 7th inning, and then up steps Eric Caro. So what was the feeling in the dugout?
The feeling was great after the first pitch because he hit it in the bleachers. So I think we had one on. We were down by 1, and he hit the go-ahead homer and got me the W and us the W. So it was a great day.
What do you remember, just the overall feeling? Obviously, 2003 was a great season for the Cubs, so a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure on you guys. Were playing well. In come the Yankees, who at that time hadn't played here since the 1932 World Series.
You know, I think for us as a group in that year, we didn't feel the expectations. We were playing good. We knew we were good. There wasn't any pressure. Didn't matter for us who was coming in town. And I think I'm not sure how we did the rest of the series, but yeah, that particular year, I don't think we ever worried about who we were facing or got involved in any of the hype at all. I think we knew what we had. We knew how good we were, and just focused on the baseball stuff.
Now in come the Yankees with Joe Girardi, the manager. He used to be a former Cub. You've actually played for both of these storied franchises. When you kind of step back at this point in your career, do you think about the fact that you've played for 2 major franchises in baseball?
You know, I don't, and you know, obviously, like you said, they're just historic franchises and a lot of history, but you know, a lot of similarities. Minus the championships, there's a lot of similarities in the fans, the way the fans travel, and just the way the organization goes. So I think you know, I've been blessed to be able to play this game for a long time, and now I've been blessed to be able to play for both of those organizations.
Would you say, obviously, you've had a lot of high and great moments in your career, that day was a little bit special for you, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a chance, like I said, I got a chance to face my idol, and first time in however long the Yankees were here, it was a playoff atmosphere for the whole weekend, and it was fun, so it was definitely something I won't ever forget.
All right, reminiscing with Kerry Wood. Len, Bob, let's send it back up to you.
Gail, thanks. Unfortunately, Kerry won't be able to participate this weekend due to the blister, but hopefully he'll be back soon. We'll have more as we preview the Yankees and Cubs from Wrigley coming up. Coming up, and in the background, An old friend, Bob. Larry Rothschild, the Chicago native, former Cubs pitching coach, spent 9 years here. The Yankees really banged up, particularly in their bullpen, but they have the 4th best ERA in the American League and the best bullpen ERA.
Yeah, they're missing some key pieces in that bullpen, including Jabba Chamberlain, Rafael Soriano, Pedro Feliciano, and Phil Hughes from the starting rotation, but Yankees are just clicking right along at this point of the season.
Couple of veteran pitchers on the mound and guys who are pretty deliberate. Doug Davis still looking for his first win as a Cub. Freddie Garcia 4-0 with a 147. A little bit of a renaissance for him as a New York Yankee.
Yeah, Freddie Garcia, you see him throw a few fastballs, but really features the slider and the splitter, uses his fastball to set up his off-speed pitches.
So it's Davis for the Cubs, Garcia for the Yankees. This interleague matchup will kick off in a few minutes. The Cubs hosting Joe Girardi's New York Yankees next. They are the most successful franchise in all of American sports, leading all leagues and titles with 27 world championships. Throughout their existence, they have had some of the most celebrated stars in Major League history. They are the Bronx Bombers, and they return to Wrigley Field next. What a way to start Father's Day weekend. Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. And for just the second time since the 1938 World Series, the Yankees are here at Wrigley Field for an interleague series. The Yanks and the Cubs, game 1 of 3. Hi again, everyone, along with Bob Brenly, who beat the Yankees in the 2001 World Series. I'm Len Casper. The Yankees, a high-powered offense. They lead the majors in homers. They're tied for first in runs. Going to be a tough challenge for the Cubs pitching staff.
Well, they also steal bases. They take walks. I mean, this is an offense that's built to be very, very patient, get themselves into some good hitters' counts, and then take advantage of those hitters' counts. Ranking among the AL leaders in all the important offensive categories, this is a team that you must pitch carefully, but you must throw strikes to.
When you think of the Yankees, you think of Jeter and A-Rod. Derek Jeter's on the DL, so no 3,000th hit this weekend. A-Rod still cranking along, but it's Curtis Granderson and Mark Teixeira. Bob, they're tied for the major league lead in home runs.
Boy, and they're doing a lot of damage in the Yankees order, no question about it. Curtis Granderson driving in runs, hitting homers, as is Mark Teixeira. Teixeira, a switch hitter, makes no difference to him which side of the plate he's on. Equally effective as a righty or a lefty.
Jose Bautista also with 21 with the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going to send it down to the field now. Michael McDermott has our national anthem.
He honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So we're set for Cubs baseball, and for many of the New York Yankees, it'll be their first trip to Wrigley Field. Not for the veterans. Good to see Joe Girardi and Curtis Granderson back here in Chicago. The Cubs and the Yanks next.
On Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Nice day for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. We're glad you're with us. And prior to today's game, Edward Jones representative Mike Hirsch presented the Edward Jones Player of the Month Award to Darwin Barney for his outstanding play in the month of May. Edward Jones making sense of investing. Barney currently on the disabled list with a left knee sprain, but in the dugout and cheering on his teammates. And the former Cub, Peoria native, product of Northwestern, Joe Girardi, talked to him today and said, I asked him, what's the first thing you think about when you come back to Wrigley Field? And he said, I think about being a kid, rooting on my favorite team. And he said, I miss my old buddy Ron Santo.
Don't we all? Yeah, Joe Girardi and Ronnie had a special relationship because of the fact that Joe Girardi did grow up watching number 10 play here at Wrigley Field. And good to see Joe back here in familiar surroundings.
Lefty Doug Davis will face this Yankees Southwest starting lineup with Jeter on the DL. Nick Swisher has been in the leadoff spot the last couple of days. Chicago native Curtis Granderson off to a fantastic start. So is Mark Teixeira. A-Rod comes in with 13 home runs and 42 knocked in. Robinson Cano at second base. Russell Martin with a nice comeback season in his first year with the Yanks. Nunez at short. Gardner and left had their game-ending hit yesterday. And Garcia the pitcher.
And let's take a look at the Cubs Suzuki defense this afternoon. It'll be Soriano in left, Campana in center, the star of yesterday's game, Kosuke Fukudome over in right field, Ramirez and Castro once again on the left side of the infield, Blake DeWitt and Carlos Pena on the right side. Coy Hill getting the nod behind the plate today for left-hander Doug Davis. Doug did not factor into the decision in Philadelphia last time out, a 4-3 loss to the Phillies. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits and 5 walks. He did strike out 6 batters in 5 innings. Well, we know all about Doug Davis working across the top of the strike zone, nibbling at the edges of the zone. It'll be a real interesting matchup against a very patient Yankees offense.
Cubs 2-4 against the Yankees in interleague play, and they were here in 2003, and the Cubs went to Yankee Stadium in 2005 when they were swept. Cubs 1-2 of 3 here at Wrigley. Switch hitting Nick Swisher will lead it off. Third consecutive game in the leadoff spot for Swisher, whose dad, Steve, former big league catcher and a former Cub. We are underway. That's a strike on Nick Swisher.
Swisher certainly not a prototypical leadoff hitter, but he does take a lot of walks. You saw the .358 on base percentage. He finds a way to get on base and jumpstart this Yankees offense.
That's driven out toward left center, and Alfonso Soriano will make the running grab. The former New York Yankee. A lot of good connections between these two teams. Mentioned Larry Rothschild, their pitching coach, Joe Girardi, the manager, Mick Kelleher. Mick is the first base coach. All former Cubs are Cubs coaches. Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach, a former Cub. And Curtis Granderson looks at a strike. 0-2 quickly. The Blue Island, Illinois native at the Thornton Fractional South High School. And later attended the University of Illinois Chicago, UIC. Davis with an 0-2. He struck him out.
Good start for Doug Davis. Working around the edges. That's what we talked about with Dougie Davis. He cannot afford to come down the middle of that plate very often. Needs to throw pitches that give the illusion of strikes around the edges and then have a move out of the zone away and hopefully get a lot of swinging strikes today.
Another switch hitter, Mark Teixeira, the first baseman. 1 ball, no strikes. 296 career home runs. It's the most ever by a switch hitter through his first 9 major league campaigns. Wide open stance. And a 2-0 count. And he's hit 12 homers and knocked in 28 runs over his last 25 games. (3-0). Big story this week coming into this series was Derek Jeter, who was inching toward 3,000 hits, 6 away, and a few days ago he was placed on the DL with a calf injury as Teixeira draws the 2-out walk. And obviously, Bob, every Jeter plate appearance would have been like a Sammy Sosa at bat in 1998, but it feels like a postseason series, doesn't it? There's a lot of energy in this ballpark.
Yeah, the hoopla down on the field before the game. A lot of quote-unquote celebrities here at the ballpark today. All the activity going on around Wrigleyville. It really does feel a lot like a postseason game.
And a mixed reaction for A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez. Currently 6th on the all-time homer list with 626. 9th in RBIs, tied with Ted Williams for 16th on the all-time runs list with 1,799. 0-1 pitch taken outside.
And we should point out, Len, before we get much deeper into this ball game, conditions completely different than yesterday. Yesterday we had a breeze blowing out at times very hard to right center field. Today flags blowing straight in from center.
A 1-1 pitch up the middle on a 1-hopper. It's DeWitt flipping to Castro as Blake was shaded up the middle. They get the force out at second and the Yankees don't score. The Cubs are coming up against righty Freddie Garcia when we come back. Cubs and Yankees game 1. Doug Davis held the Yankees scoreless in the top of the first. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup written out by Mike Quaddy. They scored a season best 12 runs yesterday, and the 2 guys at the top were a big part of it. DeWitt hitting third, Ramirez, Pena, Soriano in left. Tony Campana gets the start in center. And the battery is Hill and Davis.
Take a look at the Yankees defensively this afternoon. Brett Gardner in left, Curtis Granderson in center, Nick Swisher over in right field, A-Rod over at third base. It'll be Eduardo Nunez filling in for Derek Jeter at shortstop, Robinson Cano at second, Mark Teixeira over at first base, Russell Martin doing the catching today for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, right-hander Freddie Garcia. See his numbers on the season. I mentioned earlier, throws a fastball, a slider, a splitter, but uses his fastball to set up his off-speed pitches. You'll see a lot of breaking balls, a lot of splitters, an occasional curve.
Signed a minor league contract on February 1st. This is his 13th appearance and 12th start, and has never lost to the Chicago Cubs. Kosuke coming off maybe his best game as a Cub. Double shy of the cycle yesterday. 2 outfield assists. Knocked in 4 runs. And it's 2-1. Garcia's used to this setting, having been a member of the Chicago White Sox. Sox and Cubs matching up 6 times a year, and as a member of the White Sox, he went 3-0 with an .093 against the Cubs. 3 earned runs in 29 innings. And a leadoff walk. That's a good start.
I'll tell you, Len, it goes hand in hand. We talked about Kosuke Fukudome's great game at the plate yesterday. Usually when guys are swinging the bat well, they're seeing the ball well. Kosuke taking the leadoff walk here today is obviously seeing the ball really well right now.
Same with Starlin Castro. Mike Quade was happy about the 2 walks he took. He reached all 5 times against Milwaukee yesterday, and also had a good defensive day. Fastball at 88 for a strike. Toss to first. Kosuke back.
Garcia can be extremely slow to home plate. Russell Martin behind the plate has thrown out 28% of attempted base stealers this year. However, against Garcia when he's on the mound, 10 out of 12.
Garcia, 35 years old, and the velocity on his fastball is not what it once was. Actually, I don't know if I said 35, 34. He'll be 35 in October. Rooftops are jammed today. And here's the 1-1 to Castro. Hit well. Granderson will have to not even play it on a hop as it gets by him. And Fukudome is going to be sent around third. Relay throw will be cut off. An RBI double for Castro. So the table setters continue to get it done. Looked like a little confusion there too, Bob. I think it was Nunez who took the relay throw, and he might have had a play, but he didn't throw it at first.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of communication between the lead cutoff man and the trailer. The trailer's responsibility is to take a peek over his shoulder to see where those runners are and what's happening in the infield and let the cutoff man know where to throw the ball. Nunez got the ball, turned around, saw Fukudome streaking for home. By the time he unleashed a throw, it was way too late.
Brings up Blake DeWitt. .72 on the curve for a strike.
You see Cano laying on his belly, expecting Nunez to wheel around and throw to home plate, but Nunez, as we said, turned around, took a look, and only then decided to try to throw home.
Barely foul. Call made at first by Sam Holbrook. Greg Gibson is behind the plate. Holbrook at first. Todd Titchener is at second, and the crew chief is Jerry Davis over at third. Two pitch buried in the dirt. And 1-2. Russell Martin has played here a lot in his career. This time recently with some back stiffness. Jorge Posada's catching days are basically over. He's kind of their emergency catcher. He has been DHing for the Yankees, and he's been hot lately after a very slow start. And if he gets in there today, most likely as a pinch hitter. A pop-up back of first, and Mark Teixeira will get it. Well, and that's the first out.
Talked about yesterday's ball game against the Brewers with the wind blowing out here at Wrigley Field. Figured to be a big offensive day, and talked about the Cubs needing to continue to score every time they had opportunities because of the conditions. Same thing goes for today. You need to cash in every runner in scoring position you can, not because of the conditions, but because of the Yankees offense.
Aramis Ramirez, 6 for 15 with a homer against Freddie Garcia as he takes ball one. We will chat in a little while with former Yankees skipper, he'd say future Hall of Famer, Joe Torre, who's in the ballpark. It's Father's Day weekend. MLB always trying to raise awareness for prostate cancer research. Kind of a half swing by Ramirez and a base hit. Castro's coming around and he will score. That ball was not hit hard, which played to the Cubs' advantage, 2-0.
There's an old saying in this game, I'd rather be lucky than good. Preferably you're both. This time Ramirez gets lucky. Gets jammed on a breaking ball that hung up inside. Just fisted out there to the right side. It goes through for a base hit. And because it was hit so softly, Castro able to score without a play.
So Ramirez continues to do damage against Garcia, and Carlos Pena would like to. Just 4 for 36 for Pena against Garcia. First career home run yesterday off Zach Greinke. It would end up being the game winner. Swing and a miss. The 0-1 on the way. That missed badly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs starting the day in 5th in the NL Central. 10 games back of Milwaukee. The Yankees are a game and a half out in the American League East behind their rival Red Sox.
Where the Yankees have struggled this year, Len, is really against their own division, where they're only 1 game over 500, and against the Central, where they're 1 game over 500. They've beaten up on the American League West this year to put them in a position where they're only a game and a half behind the Red Sox going into play today.
I think a lot of Yankee fans would say their biggest problem is they haven't beaten the Red Sox.
Yeah,
they're 1-8 versus Boston, including 0-6 at home. Ouch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Greg Gibson going all the way out to Garcia to hand him a new ball.
I think he was telling him something about wiping the baseball across the back of his left wrist just above the glove. I mean, they don't call him Sweaty Freddy for nothing. A day like this, you're going to perspire a lot out there on the mound. It looked like Garcia rubbed the baseball on the back of his left wrist, and Gibson went out there and told him to knock it off.
The 2-2 to Pena, and he went around. So 2 away, and it'll bring up Alfonso Soriano.
Looked like the splitter at 80 miles an hour. We talked about it at the top of the show. He'll throw a variety of off-speed offerings. He'll only use this fastball sparingly, usually off the plate to set up the next breaking pitch.
Soriano signed with the Yankees back in 1998. Started his pro career, however, as we've discussed in the past, in Japan. At the Hiroshima Toyo Carp in the mid-90s. Up and in.
There was one of the fastballs that he will throw on occasion. This one up and in to push Soriano off the plate. More than likely setting up some kind of a breaking pitch on the outside corner right here.
And he drives that ball deep to left. Back toward the warning track, and it's caught out there by Gardner. Right in the vines, as Soriano just missed his second homer in as many days. But they get 2 and lead the Yanks 2-0 after 1. Three, Sammy Sosa against the Yankees, picking up career hit number 2,000. A lot of stuff going on in that series as Roger Clemens was searching for his 300th win, didn't get it. You heard from Kerry Wood on the pregame show. And we should mention Vladimir Guerrero against the Blue Jays in Toronto yesterday with career hit 2,500. So congrats to him. Orlando Cabrera recently got his 2,000th career hit. Robinson Cano is well on his way. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Talked a lot about the patience of this Yankees offense. Cano may be the lone exception. Only 12 base on balls this year and 259 at bats.
1,150 hits, including at least 200 each of the last 2 seasons for Cano. A career .307 hitter. And he is starting to hit for good power. 29 blasts last season, a career high. Castro will make the shoestring grab, and Cano is out. Follow all of today's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live. Only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Now the catcher, Martin. Called strike. 9 homers in 172 at bats. Last year he had 5 in over 300 at bats with the Dodgers. Suffered a season-ending hip injury in early August. Missed the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, what a boost this would be after the Cubs already knocked off the Brewers 3 of 4. To see Doug Davis go out and get his first win as a Cub to start this series against the Yankees, with A.J. Burnett and CC Sabathia looming in games 2 and 3. The Cubs will counter with Ryan Dempster against his former Florida teammate tomorrow, and Randy Wells will go against Sabathia Sunday night. Charged by Ramirez, and on the bare hand he gets him. Well, he's had a really good defensive homestand. He's made some terrific plays at third.
Now Russell Martin runs pretty good. For a catcher, I hate that saying, but he does run pretty good. Nice barehanded play by Ramirez that time. Sometime after you pick that ball up and before you make that throw, you try to get your fingers in a good position, find some seams on the baseball to make sure it doesn't get away, and Ramirez is able to fire a strike to Carlos Pena for the out.
Now the Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic native Eduardo Nunez trying to fill the shoes of Derek Jeter for the next couple of weeks. 0-1. He shows bunt and takes ball 1-1. Brett Gardner on deck, and then the pitcher Garcia. This place was full early. Everybody wanted to get in here and get a seat as quickly as possible. The grass of foul territory between third and home, and then home and first, was covered by media and others during batting practice. And a high fly out towards Soriano, flips down the shades and calls off Campana. Doug Davis has looked solid here. A couple of scoreless innings to start it, and the Cubs lead 2-0. today. It won't be from Derek Jeter, but it came from Stan Musial, only player in the history of Wrigley Field to pick up his 3,000th hit in this ballpark, May 13th, 1958. Let's listen in on Cardinals radio announcer Harry Carey.
Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! Musial around first, on his way to second with a double!
Stan the man with his 3,000th off Mo Grabowski. Tony Campana takes strike one. Cornerman in against Campana, as will probably pretty much always be the case against Campana.
Unless it's a lopsided score one way or the other where the bunt is taken out of the equation, you've got to believe that the corner infielders are going to be playing shallow. The middle infielders are going to shorten up to double play depth, respecting Tony Campana's speed.
2-2 as Campana gets his 12th start of the year in center. Short left, and it's Gardner for the out. Watch the Cubs take on these Yankees tomorrow at 3:10 here at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs tote bag, compliments of United. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Coy Hill takes ball one. I can pretty much give you in about 15 seconds the entire history of these franchises doing battle. 6 meetings in the regular season. Again, 03 here, 05 at Old Yankee Stadium. The 32 and 38 World Series were both Yankees sweeps. And in the 32 World Series, the famous or infamous moment when Babe Ruth in this ballpark pointed and then hit a home run. That's a strike. It's 3-1. This is also the 70th anniversary season as Hill takes the walk of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak back in 1941. And on this date was game 30 of that streak, and it was against the White Sox. He went 1 for 4.
Davis would more than likely be asked to put down a sacrifice bunt. He's been able to get 2 sack bunts down in his 6 starts already this year, squaring early. When you've got a leadoff hitter like Kosuke Fukudome that's swinging the hot bat right now, you don't mind giving up this out to move that runner into scoring position with 2 outs and take your chances with Kosuke in that leadoff spot.
Bunted by Davis, and it's successful. It'll go 1-4. Bob, I know we have some Cub fans out there who want us to be as specific and as correct as possible, so I'll give you this as well. These two teams have matched up in spring training as well. 1951, the Yankees were in Phoenix that year, and the Cubs spent their final season on Catalina Island. So the Cubs went to Arizona, played 2 games against the Yankees, and we actually were at New Yankee Stadium a couple years ago when they opened the ballpark right at the end of spring training. Pretty nice place.
Doesn't look like a ballpark, but it's a nice place.
Oh, they spent a little money. What, $1.5 billion?
Ooh. We talked about it a week or so ago when we started anticipating this Yankee series. A lot of Yankee fans are not pleased with the new Yankee Stadium. Certainly it has all the bells and whistles and everything you could possibly want for fan comfort at a ballpark, but a lot of longtime Yankee fans say it just doesn't have the same atmosphere.
1-1 on Kosuke, who walked to start the first and scored on the Castro double. Going to throw behind the runner, gets into center, and Coy's going to stay there as Granderson playing pretty shallow.
Pretty good reaction that time by Granderson. He saw his shortstop sneaking in behind Coy Hill at second base, and without hesitation, Granderson started to charge in to back up the play and kept Coy Hill from advancing on to third base.
Cubs have struggled in that walk department, but the two they've taken here today have been pretty important. That leadoff walk in the first and the one here in the second has put a runner in scoring position because of the Doug Davis sac bunt. Unfortunately, Kosuke pops it up, and it's going to be Gardner to end the inning. Cubs strand one. After two, they lead the Yankees 2-0. And what a nice treat. Great to have with us one of the great managers in the history of baseball and a pretty good player too, Joe Torre. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, Len. Thank you for having me. Either hand. You can do either hand here.
So what's going on? Shoulder or what?
I had a rotator and a biceps surgery last week, and my doctor said, wear this for about a month, and he said, but I want to warn you, this is like a magnet. Everybody will come up and start tapping you on the shoulder. So what the heck? It's okay.
Well, it's Father's Day weekend, and MLB always likes to raise as much awareness as possible for research for prostate cancer. You've gone through that battle. Tell us about your journey.
Well, when I was diagnosed in '99, it was like a black hole. First of all, I had a 3-year-old daughter that I was more concerned about being around for her than I was about being involved in baseball anymore. And actually, Mike Milken, who's responsible for the Prostate Cancer Foundation, he was just about one of the first guys to call me to give me a list of doctors to go see. And I'll tell you, once I started researching and decided on what to do, what course of action, which was surgery in my case, I remember when Dr. Catalona, Bill Catalona, who's here at Northwestern right now, he was at Barnes in St. Louis at the time, and he said, I'll have you back to work in 3 weeks. Well, when he said that, I think my blood pressure dropped from 100, 200 over 100 to, about 100 over 60. So it was, I think, more information and knowing that the fact that if you have early detection, especially in the prostate cancer area, that it can be cured, or if worst case scenario, controlled. And, when you're talking about men where their ego get in the way of their good sense, it's something that the fact that I was diagnosed, I'm a public person. I went public with it, which I really had to do because of my job at the time with the Yankees. And then to find that 2 months later, actually, I came back, worked full time, and everybody realized that, maybe this thing isn't as bad as it could be.
By the way, there's a delay right now. It appears to be maybe a reflection in center field, which is causing issues for the batter. And Joe, Bob and I talk all the time. It's really hard to hit when you can't see.
Well, I know, but Bob Gibson used to get on me all the time because at one point, people used to be sitting in center field here at Wrigley, and he says, and I'd say, make somebody move, or he said, you see everything, he'd say to me. Why don't you just get up there and hit? But that's a pitcher talking, so you know what that means.
A great pitcher talking.
No kidding. No kidding. But
so if people want more information,
I have it right here.
Let's give it to them now, and we'll do it at the end of our interview.
Yeah,
as well.
to make donations, go to 800, dial 800 789 CURE, which is 789-2873, or online at pcf.org. And to this date, now every home run today's game will be worth $20,000, which is pretty cool. Last night we were in Washington; they hit 7 home runs, and it kept us there late, and we got in late, but it was certainly worth being there for sure. And thus far, during this program, since Michael started this home run contest for prostate cancer, they've raised close to $50 million. Wow.
So here we go in the third, and ball 1 to Brett Gardner. How's your new gig?
My new gig is great. I even have one of these passes where I get in.
You're
everywhere.
Official.
Yeah, nobody can keep me out. I love this.
Go to any game you want.
Any game. I can't say I could sit anywhere I want, but and my new team is I root for the umpires. So it's all new for me. Different perspective, same game.
There's a 1-1, and that is a strike.
Well, in my humble opinion, you have the toughest job in the world if you have to root for umpires.
Oh, now. Well, I knew I was getting ready to retire from managing when toward the end of my career I was starting to say, you know what, these guys have a tough job, because we never really thought in terms of them being human to begin with.
Gardner hits that one hard, but foul. So do you spend a lot of time, obviously you talk to managers after ejections and things, but do you just like to, when you show up to the park, just talk to people and get their general thoughts on the state of the game?
I do listen to people. I get a lot of emails. I do visit umpires every chance I get when I come to the ballpark. I didn't visit this group today because I had just seen them in Dodger Stadium last week, but the thing is, Bobby could tell you if he got fined or suspended, he had nowhere to go, right? I mean, you never got an appeal process. Well, I've given these guys an appeal process now, the managers and the coaches, which I may be sorry for at the end of the year. because I let them call me and give me some reasoning why they did certain things, and you know, sometimes we adjust the penalty, but at least it's somebody to talk to and rant about, so it's okay.
Well, do you like interleague play? Yankees here at Wrigley Field for the first time since 2003.
Well, I think interleague play, when you talk about going to storied franchises, I think players love it. You know, when you talk about Wrigley Field, everybody looks forward because they've heard so many stories over the years about Wrigley, and it was, certainly a special place. I think the players like it because they get to visit cities and stadiums that they don't normally play in. I know certain managers, and I was one of them, that didn't feel it was fair because, your competition was playing maybe teams that weren't as good as the teams that you were playing. So I think that was an issue, and it always will be an issue.
Garcia gets down the bunt, and Pena will get it to Blake DeWitt, runner at second.
But the thing, and I know I've talked to the commissioner about this, when you start looking at the numbers, you start looking at the bottom line and how many people come to the ballpark for these interleague games, then you have to say if that's what they want, that's what you have to deliver to them. And so, for that part of the schedule, and, who knows what's going to happen down the road as far as scheduling and whatnot, but we're certainly aware of maybe subtle changes that have to take place, and we're going to look at it seriously because we just can't say it's a great game. It'll always be a great game without paying attention to what the fans want.
Here's Nick Swisher as the Yankees have a runner in scoring position for the first time. Which ring are you wearing?
96, because they'll always, I would say 2001, but I didn't win one. This guy did.
I think we've got a 2001.
Well, there it is.
yeah.
There it is. But 96 was the first one, and there'll never be another first one, and it was always special for me.
First of 4 with the Yankees, and got to ask you about 01. With everything going on in the world, and certainly in New York after 9/11, and Bob has talked a lot about it and his relationship with you. And tell us about that time.
Well, I'll tell you, we were in New York, and that happened 9/11. It was certainly surreal, and the fact that once we did get back on the field, because we had made several visits during the course of that week before we started baseball up again, and we even went to the Armory in New York, where they had a staging area where people were waiting to hear about their loved ones, and they welcomed us in. And Bernie Williams went up to a woman, says, I don't know what to say to you, but you look like you need a hug. I realized what baseball meant to these people, and it really carried a heavier load for us that year when we realized that the NY on our hat represented the city more so than it did just the Yankees. But the World Series, even to this day, I tell people that was the most exciting World Series I've been a part of. I've been luckily in 6 of them, and even though we lost it, the emotions in that World Series were unbelievable.
Well, Joe, I've said many times I was never prouder to be part of baseball than I was that particular season. We all take it very seriously, and it consumes our lives sometimes, but given the circumstances and the surroundings, we're entertainment. We were there to be a distraction and to allow people to take their minds off of the terrible tragedy, and in that respect, I was extremely proud to be a part of it.
Well, there's no question. I was very proud of the players because they understood the responsibility and certainly engaged in every area to try to welcome, not only the fans, but all the workers. And oh, don't argue with my umpires, please.
Nick Swisher and Greg Gibson, and Joe Girardi up on that top step. 2 outs here in the inning.
Now let me see what he's complaining about. What's
Looks
wrong with
good to
that?
me.
See that? I'll be right back.
2 outs in the inning. Here's Curtis Granderson. Joe, we could talk for hours, but one thing I do want to ask you, you're going to be at Old Timers Day, right? Back at Yankee Stadium with Lou Piniella.
I'm excited. I really am, and it's going to be great going back to the stadium. Actually, I can't say it'll be the first time. I did go back for George's tribute last September, which was the first time to the new stadium. But I'm really anxious and looking forward to the whole weekend. My former pitching coach, Mel Stottlemyre, is coming back. And as you mentioned, Louis will be there. So it's the Yankees do it pretty special when they have the old timers game.
We should also mention, I mean, you had a great career as a player, the MVP. You finished second. If it weren't for Billy Williams, you would have been the Rookie of the Year as well, 1961.
Yeah, we both hit 278. However, he hit 25 home runs. I hit 10.
Did you see Billy today? I assume he's here. I did not see him before the game, but he's you know where you can find Billy, at the batting cage before every Cub game.
Yeah, no, I did not see him, but I'll be out here tomorrow, and hopefully I run into him. They kept me pretty busy today.
2-1 to Granderson. What a year he's had. 21 home runs already for Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, he's got that right field wall at Yankee Stadium figured out.
A little tapper, didn't mean to, and Coy Hill will throw him out. PCF.org, 800-798-CURE. That's 800-798-2873. Please make a donation. Joe Torre, thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Len. And my man, Bobby, take care.
Always good to see you.
Enjoy your work.
A member of the Menards grounds crew going out and taking care of that glare. When in doubt, just put a garbage bag over.
Ain't nothing a garbage bag and duct tape can't fix.
I had a T-shirt that said that. Yeah. One strike on Starlin Castro. Thanks to Joe Torre for stopping by. Not only great player, great manager, but great delivery on the air. Former broadcaster. Castro stays hot. He's going to end up at second base with a leadoff double. That's 2 doubles today.
Two today, giving him 21 on the season. He's on a hanging changeup right in the middle of the plate. Keeps that bat in the strike zone for a long time. That's what allows him to keep that ball fair down into the left field corner. Beautiful thing, those leadoff doubles.
And Blake DeWitt, blooper into center and a base hit. Castro can only advance 1. Had to make sure that ball got down. And they're at the corners with nobody out.
DeWitt on an off-speed pitch. Got fooled just a little bit. Muscles it out there into shallow center. As you said, Starlin Castro had to make sure he saw that ball down on the ground before he can advance 90 feet onto third base.
Yankees in double play depth. Any ground ball that's not at the pitcher should get that third run in. Teixeira holding on DeWitt at first. The fastball is wide for ball one. Ramirez with an RBI single in the first inning. Garcia's 1-0 offering hit foul out of play. Cubs will stay in interleague play for a bit. Crosstown series will continue on the south side. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All the games here on Comcast Sportsnet. Then we'll be in Kansas City next weekend. White Sox will come here the first 3 days of July. They just got swept in a rain-shortened 2-game series at Minnesota. Red Sox are at Arizona tonight. You get some funky matchups, don't you? I mean, you know, Yankees, Cubs, pretty exciting. Kansas City and St. Louis, Giants and A's. When I think interleague play, I think Phillies and Mariners, Tigers at Colorado, San Diego at Minnesota. How about that? Ramirez with a base hit. 3-0 as Castro's in. 3 consecutive hits to start this inning.
Cubs all over every off-speed offering that Freddie Garcia leaves near that strike zone. That time appeared to be a splitter down and over the plate. Ramirez went out, golfed it off the end of the bat down into that left field corner to plate another run.
Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, is out to the mound.
One pitch at a time.
We're going to see some early action in their bullpen. Marquez might be getting ready to throw.
Hey, the new Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday's night special is also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
There's Marquez in the bullpen. First and second, and it's Carlos Pena who struck out his first time. Held up on his swing. Garcia with a sign from Martin.
Now, this is one of those days, Len. I've talked about Cito Gaston, a great hitting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays for a long time, great manager in the big leagues for a long time. And as a hitting coach, there were days where he would tell his players, give up on the fastball today. You're not going to see many fastballs in the strike zone to hit. And this would appear to be one of those days against Freddie Garcia. He's going to throw nothing but off-speed pitches in that strike zone and try to use his fastball to set him up.
Change-ups low and outside.
Not always an easy thing to do for a hitter, though. You're so conditioned to look fastball, look for a pitcher's fastest pitch, and then adjust to anything that's off speed. But the reality would tell you if the guy's not going to throw his fastball for strikes, he's going to throw off speed pitches for strikes, then maybe you need to turn it around once in a while.
He got under one is Granderson trying to get behind the ball. DeWitt tagging from second, and he's not going to test him. Soriano fly deep to the warning track and left to end the opening inning. Five hits combined. They all belong to the Cubs. Inside ball one. Fastball strike. It's 1-1. Only guys left from that 0-3 Yankees Cubs series. Derek Jeter on the DL, of course. Posada, Rivera, Soriano, who's now a Cub. Wood, Zambrano, and Larry Rothschild, who's now with the Yankees. Things change. Only 8 years ago, but it seems like a lot longer than that. Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball for the second out.
Slider on the outside part of the plate. That's been kryptonite for Alfonso Soriano throughout his career. If you happen to hang that pitch up in the middle of the plate, like happened yesterday, he can hit that ball a long way, but if you get it out on that outer third with some movement away from Soriano, he really has trouble identifying the pitch and laying off.
Tony Campana with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. Among Venezuelan-born pitchers, Freddie Garcia ranks first all-time in wins with 138 and innings pitched nearing 2,000. How about this note in the Yankee game notes? With his win in his first start as a Yankee, he became the first Venezuelan-born pitcher to earn a win for the Yankees in franchise history. Granderson in left center, and the Cubs can only get one as Garcia limits the damage. The Cubs lead this one 3-0 at the end of 3. This fourth inning is brought to you by Fourth Meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later. Time now for our AT&T trivia question. Which Cub pitcher was the victim of the alleged called shot by Babe Ruth in the 1932 World Series?
Had a few called shots. Never happened on a baseball field, though.
Make it a double. Yeah. One and 0 to Mark Teixeira as Doug Davis tries to end a personal 6-game slide. And he's 0-5 as a member of the Cubs. Left with a lead in his last start at Philadelphia. It's a career high losing streak, which dates back to last year. And 3-0 with A-Rod on deck. Doug Davis, with his first inning of work today, reached the 1,700 inning plateau in his career. Outside edge.
And if the first at bat and first 4 pitches of this at bat are any indication, Mark Teixeira is Prince fielder for all intent and purposes this weekend. Cubs took the bat right out of Prince's hand in that 4-game series.
This will be Fukudome out in right center. So they get Teixeira on a 3-1 pitch.
Well, he's either going to swing at a pitcher's pitch or he's going to have to take the walks. I just don't think the Cubs pitching staff is too willing to give in to Teixeira in this series.
Alex Rodriguez. I mean, considering all the controversial stuff he's gone through in his career, wouldn't you say the being fed popcorn by Cameron Diaz is almost like one he'd rather be known for that than the other stuff, right? That's nothing for him.
Well, he never shies away from the spotlight, that's for sure.
Pounded that one off, I believe, his back foot. Well, it's not a discussion that really needs to be had for a long time, because his career far from over, but he's got to wait 5 more years to be on the Hall of Fame ballot. I mean, he's a first ballot, no doubt, Hall of Famer. But then the steroid issue comes up, and who knows? 1-2. Prior to 2009, did admit that he took performance-enhancing drugs in the past. And he did hold up. 2-2.
Yeah, possibly as far back as high school, depending on whose account you choose to believe regarding A-Rod and his use of performance-enhancing drugs. Well, it really muddies the Hall of Fame waters.
It sure does. And you're going to have an entire era worth of position players in particular, and guys who are among the all-time leaders in home runs, and will or will they not get in the Hall of Fame? We'll find out. All-time leader right at the top of that list, Barry Bonds. (3-2) now from Davis, and A-Rod bounces to A-Ram as they call him. Bob, you do go back to the beginning of Rodriguez's career. I mean, this guy was something else under Lou Piniella in Seattle as a teenager. I mean, he has put up at times just ridiculous numbers. 3-time AL MVP, 10 Silver Sluggers, couple of Gold Gloves when he was a shortstop. Won the batting title in '96. I think for some people, he'll be remembered for a 10-year, $252 million contract that he signed with Texas.
Certainly that's what his accountant will remember him for.
Base hit for Cano. That's the first Yankee hit. It comes with 2 outs in the 4th. The interesting thing, though, is that A-Rod, his next deal, he re-signed a 10-year deal worth $275 million with the Yankees. Let's see, 252. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of dough.
Martin takes a strike. Check on Cano. Early on, Doug Davis as sharp as we've seen him as a Cub. This is his 7th start. And now Coy Hill will go out and talk it over with his pitcher. The 27th Annual Cub Convention takes place at the Hilton Chicago January 13th, 14th, and 15th, 2012. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more information, visit Cubs.com. I guess not really an issue to this point, as the Yankees have only put 1 runner in scoring position. But some headlines were made a few days ago, and Ranger catcher Yorvit Torrealba accused Andrew Jones of stealing signs. Talk more about that a little later as DeWitt throws out Russell Martin. Yankees get their first hit, but still haven't scored. 3-zip Cubs.
Trivia question: which Cubs pitcher was the victim of the so-called called shot by Babe Ruth right here at Wrigley Field? Charlie Root. Take a look at some video from that particular game. This is allegedly Babe Ruth pointing to the center field bleachers, calling his shot.
Well, I thought I saw you sitting in the stands.
I was out on Waveland that day.
Charlie Root, root for the Cubbies.
Babe Ruth giving it to Charlie Root as he ran around the bases, and then some heckling fans on the third base side got an earful from the Babe as well.
Coy Hill takes a strike. So back to the supposed sign stealing. You know, giving a pitch location from second base if you're a runner out there. Yorvi Torrealba yelled at Andrew Jones during a visit to the mound. Garcia will barehand, and he gets Coy Hill. Here's the question. I don't know if Andrew Jones did it. I didn't see video of it. That doesn't matter to me. My bigger question is, why do catchers give multiple signs with a runner at second? Because they don't want you to steal signs, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that an admission that it happens all the time and you're trying to keep the other team from doing it? And if the other team can do it,
it's on you.
It's on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we talk about cheating and, you know, scuffing the baseball, corking bats, all that stuff. Sign stealing seems to be considered within the game. Not cheating or not the same. In other words, I guess it's in a way like counting cards if you're playing blackjack. If you get caught, they'll kick you out of the casino, but it's not illegal. So if you're not supposed to steal signs, you're not supposed to give signs to your teammates in terms of what you see the catcher give, then why just put a 2 down for a curveball and assume that he's not going to do it.
And some catchers, and I don't know once again this specific incident, but some catchers set up too early. They give their sign to the pitcher and then move to one corner or the other so quickly that the runner at second base can relay that to the hitter. So once again, that's something that's on the catcher.
It's all in the unwritten rule book. On sale now. Call strike 3.
You know, I guess, you know, if you're not using a long lens camera from the bullpen or somebody out there with binoculars, no, you're crossing the line. But, you know, for a player who happens to be on second base, that catcher knows he's peering in at the signs. As you said, catchers go through a sequence of signs, and I don't really see what the issue is unless either your catcher is so bad about disguising his signs or your pitcher is too lazy and it has to be the first pitch every time. Well, you know, runners are going to figure that out. So you have to come out with some kind of a system to thwart that. And usually the easiest way to do it is call for an inside pitch and set up on the outside corner. Let the runner at second base relay to the hitter, pitch away. The hitter will lean out over the plate and you buzz a fastball right under his chin. That's the end of it.
You've been around the block a few times in this game, haven't you?
Yeah, and down the alleys a few times too.
I mean, we didn't ask the other team to figure out signs. The third base coach would say, hey, Kosuke, bunt. And if A-Rod heard it, he's not supposed to tell anybody else. Forget you heard it. This game is built on secrecy and trying to communicate without the other team knowing about it. When the other team finds out, they say, well, how'd you find out? You can't tell your teammate what we're doing. And don't talk into your glove when you're on the mound. Because I think by and large, and there are very few exceptions, most hitters do want to know, if they can, what the pitch is and what the location is.
You know, Len, I think you'd be surprised to find out how many hitters do not want to know.
I know there are some.
I was shocked myself. I mean, I would take all the help I could get. If you're right 51% of the time, tell me what you think is coming. I'll take that 1% edge over guessing 50-50. But some guys feel if they know what pitch is coming, it alters their swing a little bit mentally. If they know they're getting a fastball, they might try to do too much with that pitch. Usually those guys are good hitters. Those of us who fall in the other category, we'll take any edge we can get.
Two and Kosuke hits it in the air. And for Freddie Garcia, this will be his first clean 1-2-3 inning. We'll head off to the fifth. Cubs dominating so far, leading 3-0. If you are the 500th texter, you could win five $5 footlong subs from Subway. Big buzz in the crowd and around Wrigley Field today and all weekend with the Yankees here. Eduardo Nunez takes ball one. That'll continue on the south side Monday when the Cubs play the White Sox. Curveball at 69 missed. Gardner and then Garcia, so bottom three in the Yankee lineup. Three and one. The Yankees have won 18 of 21 day games this season. And a bouncer, and Ramirez can't get it. But Castro does. It'll be a hit, and the ball almost got thrown out of play. Well, it looked like Nick Kelleher, the first base coach, might have saved Nunez from being tagged out potentially, because as you watch him run down the line, he started to round the bag. He thought that ball was going to get into left. And I think Nick Kelleher told him, straighten it out.
You don't have a lot of responsibilities as a first base coach, but this is one where you can really help your runner. That ball just ate up Ramirez down there at third base, ricocheted right to Starlin Castro, who unleashes that strong throw. And right there, the runner is not really sure where the ball is. So Mick Kelleher letting him know, stay right here on the bag. Don't make an effort towards second base. Yeah, right there, he started to make his turn. Kind of odd to see Nunez not look to his right.
Ramirez will throw, and they get the out there as he had to wait for DeWitt to get to second base.
Just one last point about the Nunez play. Runners are taught on a play like that, anytime you run through the bag at first, as soon as you hit the base, your first reaction to be look to your right to see if there's an overthrow. That time Nunez on the previous play never looked to his right to see where the ball was. Had to rely on his first base coach Mick Kelleher to alert him to stay on the bag.
Garcia, a career 190 hitter, laid down a sac bunt his first time, and he tries to do it, and he will again. 2-4. Boy, in a scoreless game, maybe later, I think Coy Hill throws to second, but didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah, right there, the runners are taught to look to your right. If Nunez looks to his right away, possibly he could have advanced on to second base, but fortunately for the Cubs, Coy Hill was backing up the play, and fortunately for the Cubs, that ball stayed in play.
Swisher 0 for 2, lined out, struck out.
Nick Swisher, a switch hitter. This is his much stronger side of the plate, hitting .348. As a righty, only .176 as a lefty. 3 home runs from each side of the plate, but he's done it from the right side in only 66 at bats, where he's at 148 as a left-handed hitter.
Kick in the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. The Yankees hit a lot of home runs, and they score a lot of their runs on homers. 103 overall on the season, and a major league high 47.1% of their runs have come via the long ball. 3-1. Four guys with at least 10. Tying run will come to the plate, and even though it is a left-handed hitter, Curtis Granderson leads the majors with 9 homers off lefties.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long, so don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE front row seats auction today.
Two on, 2 down, and the pitch to Granderson is low, ball 1. when Mark Riggins is going to come out. I think everybody in that dugout on the mound, Doug Davis realizes this will be the biggest out of the game, not only so far, but maybe of this start. With Mark Teixeira on deck, you don't want to have to face him here in this inning. Ready now for a 1-0. Good meeting.
Good meeting.
Rolled foul, 1-2. Long look by Davis, now set. And he struck him out to get out of the inning. So the Yankees have stranded 5 through 5. We're halfway home on this beautiful Friday. Cubs 3, Yankees nothing. Cap, thank you. Starlin Castro with 2 doubles, an RBI, and 2 runs. 27th multi-hit game of the year, among the National League leaders in that category. As he swings and misses for strike 1. Fly to deep left. Gardner back, took a look behind him and makes a grab on the warning track.
Well, maybe yesterday that ball has a chance to get off the wall or up into the bleachers, but not today. The wind blowing straight in from center field. Castro gets a fastball on the inside part of the plate. A good pass at it, but just died on a warning track in the glove of Brett Gardner.
Pitch. That's a strike. Sharply hit ground ball to Cano. And DeWitt is gone. Hey, fans couldn't get tickets to the White Sox or Cardinals series here at Wrigley. Cubs Destinations has spots available for these highly anticipated matchups. All standard packages include great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a special Cubs gift bag, a tour of the park, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more information, visit Cubs.com. 2 RBI singles for Aramis Ramirez in this game. Oh, and 2. Weekend update anchor and the head writer of Saturday Night Live, Seth Meyers, will join us for the 7th inning stretch. That'll be fun. Northwestern graduate in town for the Just for Laughs festival. Check out Louis C.K. tomorrow night. I'm excited about that. Chicago Theater. Granderson will get it, and that's it. Garcia's now retired 9 in a row. Took him just 9 pitches in the 5th. 3-0 Cubs.
Tonight, don't miss Inside Look. The 1991 Bulls revisit a legendary year in Chicago sports and catch interviews from Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Stacey King, and of course MJ himself. Inside Look, the 91 Bulls tonight at 7 only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Foul strike on Mark Teixeira. Got an 8-year contract prior to 2009. Former Ranger, Brave, and Angel. 4 Gold Gloves for the former third baseman. The Gold Gloves won at first. Georgia Tech product, and the 0-2 from Doug Davis is way outside. 1-2. Well, the Yankees are an interesting franchise, Bob. It seems like if you don't love them, you hate them. Everybody has an opinion about the New York Yankees.
As somebody said a long time ago, the rooting for the Yankees is like rooting for General Electric. Always leading the majors in payroll this year, no exception, just a tick under $200 million on player payroll this season.
Teixeira off the end of the bat as he pops up. And pretty quiet today, 0 for 2 with a walk.
A lot of people hate him because they win a lot.
Yep. 27 World Championships, 40 pennants, 49 trips to the postseason. And they actually started in the American League in 1901 as the Baltimore Orioles. 2 years later became the New York Highlanders. And then 1913 were known as the Yankees. They didn't wear pinstripes until 1915. And they still don't on the road. But the Yankee pinstripes at home, very famous, iconic. 2-0. And they have thick pinstripes, a little thicker than a Cub pinstripe. Ground ball to Ramirez. He will spin and throw to first. Rodriguez 0 for 3. And when you hear about the 27 Yankees, everyone says, oh, they're not the 27 Yankees. Probably the best team ever. Miller Huggins was the manager. They won 110, lost 44. They won the American League by 19 games. Swept Pittsburgh 4-0 in the World Series. The Murderers' Row offense that we often hear about hit 307. The Yankees outscored their opponents, Bob, that year by 376 runs. Babe Ruth hit a then record 60 home runs. He knocked in 164, and that didn't even lead the team. Lou Gehrig had 175 RBIs in 1927. They were pretty good.
And they probably had the highest payroll in baseball then.
Yeah, about $800. Two strikes to Robinson Cano. We're talking to Joe Torre about prostate cancer research and about him being diagnosed, battling through it. Doug Davis had thyroid cancer surgery back in 2008. Broken bat bouncer to Blake DeWitt, and Davis gets through 6, shutting out the high-powered Yankees. We'll go to the last of the 6th. Cubs 3, New York 0.
And they have not looked back, leading 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Carlos Pena against Freddie Garcia. Struggled to start this game, but has settled in over the last couple of frames. Fly ball out into left center. And it's Brett Gardner for the first out. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Strike to Soriano. How about this? Mr. October through 1978 and Alfonso Soriano's career to this point. And Reggie always struck out a lot. Numbers somewhat comparable. Reggie Jackson, the Hall of Famer, would hit 563 career home runs.
And Reggie hit a lot of his homers at the right time.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Picked up by Rodriguez. Reggie also at 357 with 10 homers in 27 career World Series games. So I think that nickname was well deserved. Campana bunts. He's going to get there. Nobody covering, and Garcia just flipped it. Teixeira went to field the bunt, and Cano kind of in no man's land. That was kind of odd that Garcia actually made the flip. Was that just a little message to say hello?
Well, I think he realized the second baseman was there to back up the play at that point, and I'm a little shocked that Teixeira went after that ball. It was pretty clear from up here and should have been clear at field level that Garcia was going to get to that bunt a lot sooner than Mark Teixeira could, but Teixeira came all the way in. Cano was going to back up the play. Maybe Freddie was flipping it to Sam Holbrook, the first base umpire. Here, you tag him.
So a bunt hit for Campana. He was leaning. He wanted to go.
Here's the thing, though. He was leaning and still got back standing up, which would tell you he could probably get a little more on his lead out there.
Campana takes off. They pitch out. And they got him. Maybe a tag on that batting glove hanging out of his pocket. It's the first time he's been caught stealing in the big leagues. 3-0 Cubs. Let's see where he got him.
Russell Martin's throw to second base a little on the first base side of the bag and high. It looked initially like Tony Campana was going to be able to get in underneath the tag, but you see that right leg cocked up in the air. That's where the tag is applied just before Tony gets his hand on the bag at second.
Excellent camera work as always by our Wrigley Field crew. We start the 7th. Cubs leading 3-0. One strike on Russell Martin. Long as Davis has gone, and it's only the second time he's gotten through 6. He went 6 1/3 in a 3-1 loss versus the Astros on June 1st. Pitcher spot due up 4th. And if that spot comes up, Freddie Garcia no doubt will be done. Popped into center. I'll tell you that not only have the Yankees not done much against Doug Davis, Bob, they haven't hit a lot of balls that hard.
A lot of easy outs, lazy fly balls. There have been a few hard hit grounders in this ball game, but just a stellar job by Doug Davis so far through 6 1/3.
Left-hander Boone Logan up in the visitors bullpen. There's one guy out there who we like watching pitch on television, but we'd rather not see him much on the mound this weekend. His name is Mariano Rivera. Just headed out to the bullpen a few minutes ago. Lined, and it's off the glove of Ramirez. It deflects to Castro. Double clutch. He got him. 5 to 6 to 3. That's a second ball Nunez has hit that's deflected off Ramirez's glove. The other one was a ground ball for a hit.
Now this particular play, you see he's drawn in even with the baseline, a screaming line drive off the webbing of Ramirez's glove. Fortunately, once again deflects right to the shortstop. Little bit of a double clutch by Starlin Castro, but plenty of arm to hustle that ball across the infield for the out.
Gardner with 2 outs. Garcia is on deck. And a strike. $42,219. Looking on today. 1-2. Davis has a sign from Hill. And it's 2-2. I mean, it kind of goes without saying because of the results, but this is Doug Davis at his best. Kind of avoiding the hot spots in the Yankees strike zone. Seen a lot of those pitches with 2 strikes. Made mistakes in his favor.
And more than anything else, he's just stayed out of the middle of the plate, which is what he has to do to be effective. Today, as you said, this is vintage Doug Davis at his best.
Pop up shallow right. DeWitt is out. Fukudome in. It'll be Kosuke. And here comes Seth Meyers with a stretch.
This presents TBS Just for Laughs Chicago Festival, and performing tomorrow night at the Vic, please welcome Saturday Night Live star and host of the upcoming ESPY Awards, Seth Meyers.
All right, fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, and it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's beat the Yankees! Woo!
Ryder and the weekend update anchor hanging out in Chicago. How you doing, Seth?
I'm great. It's great to be back in Chicago. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, you went to school right up the road at Northwestern.
I did. Home of Joe Girardi.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're not rooting for the road team.
No, I am not. I'm rooting for the Cubs. I will admit I'm a Red Sox fan, so it's easy to root against the Yankees. But the Cubs have always been my second favorite team. For a long time, Red Sox and Cubs fans had a lot in common.
Coy Hill leading off the bottom of the 7th. Doug Davis is in the on-deck circle as Hill swings over a changeup. So you've got a gig this weekend?
I am. I'm very excited to be back performing in Chicago.
There are a lot of big-time comedic celebrities in town this weekend.
I know. I think Steve Martin and Martin Short is the most exciting for me personally.
It is low and inside.
So everywhere you go in Chicago this weekend, people are laughing.
Ideally.
Yeah,
ideally.
We hope so.
They were at least before you jinxed it. Now I'm going to know it was Brenly's fault when they stopped, when the laughter dies.
Blame it on me. I don't care.
1-2 to Hill is outside. It's just too bad over the last few years. There haven't been any interesting stories in politics.
I know.
For Saturday Night Live did.
I know, although we did have a bad bit of luck because our season finale happened right before the Anthony Weiner scandal. And, sometimes there are stories that you wish you had a shot at.
I'm sure you'll get to some of it this weekend.
I will do my best.
Coy Hill out into right center. And that'll be handled. And Swisher with a catch. One away. Well, the Cubs were at Fenway Park for the first time in interleague play earlier this season. And in these ballparks, obviously, there's a great connection. Fenway built in 1912, Wrigley in 1914.
And I can't remember, was it 04 or 05 that the Red Sox were here?
It was 05.
Because I came down for that, which was really exciting.
Greg Maddux hit a home run in that series for the Cubs. So you weren't rooting for the Cubs that weekend?
I will be honest and say that I was not.
You're honest.
I would love to pander and say I just wanted to see a good game.
Right.
I do want to say as a Red Sox fan to Cubs fans that after the Red Sox won the World Series, it is just a little bit less exciting every year. So whenever it does happen for Cubs fans, that will be the best year. And you still are looking forward to your best year, and mine's already happened.
Did you give up in the championship series when it was 3-0 Yankees in 04?
I'll tell you how bad I gave up. I was at the game with my mother when they lost 19-8, and I had tickets to Game 4, and I wouldn't go. Because I was there in Game 3 when Aaron Boone hit the home run, or Game 7 the year before.
2 outs, it'll bring up Kosuke. So Game 4 would have been Dave Roberts pinch running.
Yeah.
Was it for Kevin Millar?
The most famous game in the history of the Red Sox. I didn't go to. But because I'm crazy, in my head, I still think if I'd been, Dave Roberts would have gotten thrown out.
So you actually believe if you had shown up at Fenway Park, the Yankees would have won the game?
Yeah. And yet no one talks about me and my sacrifice.
They don't.
Yeah.
I've never heard that theory.
You keep hearing about, oh, Dave Roberts, oh, David Ortiz. Where am I in the documentaries?
Right. Took one for the team,
yeah.
Seth. That's a good
got
team
on a
player.
plane. I got on a plane and went home.
Well, I'm going to write that down in my Red Sox notes for next time we see them. Seth Meyers not going to Game 4 is the reason they came back.
Yeah, and I had a chance to go because our boss, Lorne Michaels, has exceptional seats at Yankee Stadium, and I didn't go to Game 7 as well because of Game 7 in 03. When Aaron Boone hit that home run, I was already in the concourse by the time it landed. Like, I saw it go off the bat and just was like, I don't want to see any happy Yankee fan.
Well, you sound pretty superstitious, like a baseball player.
Yes.
What do you do before SNL and Weekend Update? Are there things you have to do?
I do. I find,
what?
Well, like, before you go on Weekend Update, you have to walk around the set. And I have my update writers all stand there. I do a thing where I do have to, I have to fist bump all the guys. And I do it in the same order every time. So I'm a good, crazy, suspicious person.
Have you ever not done it that way and had a bad
I haven't not done it that way. Like, I'm that kind of superstitious.
Have you ever had a bad performance?
Oh, I've had plenty of bad performances.
Okay, so you didn't change it up.
I blame those guys. I say, hey, we gotta bring the quality of these fist bumps up. I can't do it all myself out here.
1-2 on Fukudome. What a day. Great weather. A little breezy. Packed house. Garcia just deflects it. Glove to glove. They got him. Wow. Cano to Teixeira. Seth, have a great weekend here in Chicago.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back. We're big fans.
It was great to be out here. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Seth.
it.
3-0 Cubs after 7.
Second baseman Robinson Cano, the ball was deflected by Freddie Garcia. We've seen this a lot this season. The glove-to-glove play perfectly executed just in time to get Fukudome. There's so many things can go wrong on that play, but when you do it right, man, is it pretty.
Andrew Jones will bat in Freddie Garcia's spot, thanks to Seth Meyers for stopping by. He said it was the first time he'd been at a broadcast booth. He's a natural. Doug Davis back out there for the 8th inning with the bullpen getting ready. Samardzija and Marshall are out there, and you've got the top of the Yankee order coming up.
As good as Doug Davis has been this afternoon, and he has been really good, I have to believe from this point forward it's a very short leash.
It'd be fair to say Andrew Jones has one of the longer swings. Earlier in his career, he could hit him out. 7 years of at least 30 home runs. Davis ready for 2-2. And here it comes. Took it for ball 3. And Jones has just not hit for any sort of batting average the last several years. At 262 in 06, but hasn't been above 230 since. Called strike 3.
Davis goes to the breaking pitch here, just drops it onto that outside corner, very top part of the strike zone. Andrew Jones can't believe it. Cubs will definitely take it. Keep that leadoff runner off base.
Swisher with 1 out. Two hits for the Yankees, both singles. That's how good Davis has been. That's deep to left. And it's off the wall. Swisher just missed a home run. Stayed in the yard. Kind of hard to tell where that ball hit. I think right at the top of the vines. We'll get another look at it. As Swisher's standing at second base with 1 out. Mike Quaddy's going to make a change as we check out this blast.
And one of the rare pitches that Doug Davis has thrown today that found its way to the middle of the plate on the 2-0 count, and Swisher bangs it off the vines for a double. What a great outing by Doug Davis.
This never gets old. The standing ovation for the starting pitcher, Doug Davis, was magnificent. It's the Verizon call to the pen. Sean Marshall is on to face Curtis Granderson. Time for the Verizon call to the pen, and it's left-hander Sean Marshall, who had been struggling. Took a few days off, came back, were 2 scoreless innings in the game yesterday against Milwaukee as he faces Curtis Granderson. Runner at second with 1 out in the 8th. Cubs leading 3-0.
Two previous encounters for these two. Sean Marshall's had the best of it both times. 2 punch outs.
Just missed. 1-1.
There's Joe Torre.
Looked pretty good.
My. Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, was hearing it from the Yankees bench after the first called strike. Marshall still able to jump ahead in the count. 1-2 here.
Doug Davis. To this point, no runs. At the most, he will allow 1. By far his best outing as a Chicago Cub. 2 curveballs and a cutter to start this at bat. And a 1-2. Another ground ball foul on a curve. Popped up, but no play for Hill.
Well, and getting back to Doug Davis for just a moment, one thing I think we kind of forget about sometimes is Doug Davis was behind schedule right away. He was signed late, went to extended spring in Arizona to get himself into some kind of pitching shape. He had 2 outings at the minor league level and was forced into action up here because of necessity. And for a command pitcher like Doug Davis, I think it takes him a little bit longer than a power pitcher to get the finesse necessary to move those pitches around the strike zone, to change speeds, and to get big league hitters out.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the curve.
We're going to take a look at our Home Depot doing more on defense. A couple of smashes down toward Aramis Ramirez at third base. This one by Eduardo Nunez. Fortunately for the Cubs, ricochets right to Starlin Castro, who fires on to Pena for the out at first base. Team defense.
Swisher still at second, 2 outs. There's a closer, Carlos Marmol. Just in case here in the 8th. Well, again, Sean Marshall has stayed away from his fastball. Lots of curves and cutters. Ball hammered foul. 1-2 the count on Teixeira. A-Rod is on deck. He would represent the tying run if he bats this inning. There's a fastball at 90, 2-2. Gotta show it every once in a while, as you've talked about.
Just got to keep hitters honest. If you throw nothing but off-speed breaking pitches, sooner or later hitters are going to turn around and start to look for that.
Down the line, but foul. And out of play. That crowd of 42,219 today, the biggest of the year here at Wrigley Field. And they're making a lot of noise with the home team up late.
Well, they are shoehorned into Wrigley Field today. It's tough to find an empty seat anywhere.
Three and two.
Try to come inside with a fastball here. Maybe a little cutter, a little movement in toward Mark Teixeira. Made him move his feet, but runs the count to full.
Six of his 21 homers have been hit right-handed. As he awaits a 3-2 offering from Sean Marshall, he will do it again.
quick moment here, Len. A couple of birthday wishes. Joey Allen of Pottstown, Pennsylvania, here with his kids Lake and Marin celebrating. Birthday shout out to Stacy Collins.
And a base hit. Swisher coming around third. He's going to be sent. Throw by Campana cut off. It's 3-1. Mark Teixeira puts the Yankees on the board. That run charged to Davis. And now Mike Quaddy is going to head out. And he's going to ask his closer to get the final 4 outs. Carlos Marmol coming on. The Verizon call to the pen. It'll be Marmol against A-Rod. Don't go anywhere. The Verizon call to the pen, and here's Carlos Marmol. Trying for his 14th save in 18 chances. Alex Rodriguez has a tying run at the plate. Teixeira at first after an RBI single. 3-1 Cubs. And a slider missed. 1-0. He's been around the plate but has not gotten a call yet. 2-0.
I think the first one was a better pitch than the second one. The second one looked like it came around the inside corner. First one looked like it was all over the plate.
That one dropped right in the middle of the zone. 2-1. Or maybe not.
Where's Joe Torre?
2-2. Slider mania. As they get on their feet here at Wrigley. 2-2 pitch to A-Rod. Swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball to end the inning. Marmol working backwards. And he got him. 3-1 Cubs. Cubs. Right-hander Luis Ayala coming on to make his 18th appearance. He's given up 1 earned run over his last 16 appearances. Some DL time. The right shoulder strain. Freddie Garcia wasn't that bad either. He struggled to start his outing, but after the 3rd inning, he allowed 1 hit over his final 4. Doug Davis was better. Two balls, no strikes.
I believe with this Yankees offense, if you ask manager Joe Girardi, would you take 7 innings and 3 runs for Freddie Garcia every start the rest of the season? He would say absolutely.
Yep. A team that averages over 5 runs a game, you bet. Cano will take it. When Giovanni Soto wants Chicago's best prime steaks, he heads to Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago, Lombard or Rosemont. Call 773 Holy Cow or visit harrycareys.com today. Blake DeWitt 1 for 3. Looking ahead to the 9th, Cano, Martin, and Nunez. Ramirez on deck, 2-2. And the Cubs' number 3 hitter today. And he got him. The tail on the fastball, but apparently caught the outside corner. Hey fans, be sure to stop by the Wrigleyville Block Party this weekend at the corner of Clark and Addison. With free entry to all ages, the Wrigleyville Block Party will offer live music, family-friendly activities, special giveaways, and food and drinks from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. today and tomorrow, 2 to 7:30 on Sunday. Don't miss all the fun before, during, and after the games this weekend at the Wrigleyville Block Party. Rodriguez throws out Ramirez. A 1-2-3, 8 for Ayala. Marmol back out for the 9th, with the Cubs leading 3-1. For a Coors Light freeze can. Tony Campana laying down the bunt. As you see, nobody covering first base. Cano is just too far away. And Campana reaching. Back in the 6th inning. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Reed Johnson now playing left. DJ LeMahieu is in at second base. As Cano will step in. His changes are straight up. Ball 1 on a fastball to Cano. Two 2-0. He's going with back-to-back heaters to start the sequence. Goes with a slider, throws a strike.
When you need to throw a strike, go to the bread and butter pitch.
And Quaddy going to his closer in the 8th inning. It's going to be foul. Chance here for 4 out of 5 to start the homestand after a very rough 2-8 trip. Fly to left. Reed Johnson racing over. The dive. He caught it. What a catch by Reed Johnson in fair territory, no less. He just came in for defense, and what a play he made.
A great play for a number of reasons. Getting real close to that side wall. He was playing Cano to pull, so he had a long way to run to get there. Never took his eye off the baseball. Yeah, that's a fair ball if it drops down in that left field corner. That is a monster play by Reed Johnson.
Keeps the tying run in the on-deck circle. Russell Martin looks at ball 1. Pretty fortuitous defensive switch. It was a long run for Reed Johnson. 1-1. Martin 0 for 5 with 3 walks and a strikeout against Marmol. Jorge Posada has jumped into the on-deck circle for Nunez. 3-2. Sure, he scraped up several body parts. Looks like a little blood there. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. That'll bring up the pinch hitter Posada. This is worth a few more looks. You'll see a few of these later on in the highlight shows here on CSN.
Oh, yeah.
Scraped up his whole arm.
Yeah. Well, he had to dive to get to the ball, also to protect himself against that sidewall. Just a tremendous play.
Mentioned Posada has been used as a DH this year. He hasn't caught. He's played first base a little bit.
Oh, man, what a late timeout call by Greg Gibson behind home plate.
Yes.
Umpires have been instructed that they're not required to grant a timeout. If they feel that pitcher is either getting ready to deliver the ball or already into his delivery, they don't have to grant timeout. That one was very late.
Posada made headlines earlier this season when he asked out of the lineup after finding out he was hitting ninth, the spot in which he hadn't hit since 1999. The controversy, though, didn't linger as he quickly apologized the next day to his manager. 1-1. First time he's ever faced Marmol. Ball strike two. Calls strike three. 2 down.
Throwing that slider to the outside corner at the knees. Really nothing Posada could do with that pitch right there. He tracked it out of Marmol's hand, had it off the plate away. That late movement brings it right back to the corner.
Brett Gardner with 2 outs. And strike. Chris Dickerson is on deck. If we get that far. Mike Quaddy hoping not. One and two. Goes Martin as a bouncer foul. And a base hit. Martin was not running. He'll have to stop at second. And that will give the pinch hitter Dickerson a chance. First hit allowed by Marmol.
Well, the slider toward that outside corner. That's a pretty good piece of hitting right there. Brett Gardner staying on that ball, driving it through the hole on the left side of the infield.
Dickerson, with his second stint as a Yankee this season, was recalled from AAA on Sunday after being sent out on June 10th. They got him from Milwaukee on March 25th for Sergio Mitre. Originally a member of the Reds organization. And he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Marmol. Oh, 2. Marmol ready. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cubs win. The Yankees strand a couple in the ninth. Doug Davis gets his first win as a Cub. What a defensive gem by Reed Johnson to start this inning. And all of a sudden the Cubs have heated up. They've won 4 of 5 to start the homestand.
Well, what a big confidence builder, not only taking 3 out of 4 from Milwaukee in the previous series, but coming here against the vaunted New York Yankees and just totally dominating this ball game. Well, you said it, great outing by Doug Davis, great defense by the Cubs, and some timely hits. Couple of fastballs, yeah, followed by a slider tipped right into the mid of Coy Hill, and the fans are digging it here at Wrigley.
GMC player of the game is Doug Davis. He gets his first win as a member of the Cubs.
Really in total command today with all of his pitches, limited his walks, a couple of strategic walks in the ball game, but only because he wanted to throw the pitch out of the strike zone.
Let's go down to the field and Gail Fisher.
All right, Len, thank you very much. How about that? Aramis Ramirez. First of all, yeah, Doug Davis pitched a great game. Carlos Marmol closes it out, and you drive in 2 of the Cubs, 3 runs. You couldn't script this any better.
Well, I think the key was Davis. You know, against that line, one of the best hitting team in baseball, if not the best. And he go out there and give you an opportunity, to shut them down for 7 innings. And we scored some runs early, and, it worked for us.
I know that you weren't with the Cubs yet in 03 when the Yankees came here to Wrigley Field, and you guys want to get a win no matter who you're facing, but it's kind of fun to beat the Yankees, isn't it?
It is fun. It's a packed house. Everybody knows about the Yankees. Great teams, great tradition. And, you can see the different atmosphere at the park today.
Obviously, you guys are on a roll now, taking 3 out of 4 from Milwaukee, beating the Yankees today. Great weather now, starting to warm up at Wrigley. Is this something you guys can build on?
Well, yeah, we finally get some warm weather, and we're hitting the ball well. We didn't hit the way we like to today. I think Freddie threw the ball well, but we scored enough runs to win the game.
All right, great game for Aramis Ramirez. Great game for the Cubs. Len, let's send it back upstairs. See you and Bob.
Gail, thanks. Well, this was fun, partner. I mean, there's nothing better than watching Cubs baseball at Wrigley Field, but when you beat the New York Yankees.
Yeah, you beat the Yankees in front of a full house. You heard Aramis say it. The atmosphere was different here today. You could feel the electricity, the anticipation, and crisply well-played game by the Cubs today.
By the way, we want to congratulate the AA Tennessee Smokies. They clinched the first half and enjoy the All-Star weekend down in Florida.
Thank you, partner.
So the Cubs will have already clinched a winning homestand. They'll go for a series win tomorrow. 2 more games left on this stand against the Yankees. And that'll wrap up our game coverage, but we have a lot more to come. Coors Light post-game live is next. The final score, the Cubs 3 and the Yankees 1. Our next Cubs telecast on CSN will be on the south side. The Cubs visit the White Sox at 7 o'clock. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob, for Gail Fisher, Bob Albrecht, Dave Turner, Tamara Anderson, Jim Corno Jr., our wonderful CSN crew. This is Len Casper sending it over to our downtown CSN studios where Cap and Todd are waiting by.